Alright, welcome back. Super casual Sundays, as you can see. Just hanging out in the kitchen. Going over a little Sunday sauce today. Roasted pork ragu is the variation that we're going to do. Sounds super fancy. It's really easy. I know everybody's like, oh my god, I cook my sauce all day long. You don't have to do it all day long. In fact, I got a pot of boiling water in the back. We're going to cook rigatoni to a nice al dente. That's going to take 9 minutes, and even before the pasta is done cooking, we're probably going to be done with the sauce and be ready to roll. So here's the ingredients that we have. I got the roasted pork shoulder. If you've been following along on my YouTube channel, check that out. That's how I got to this place right here. Beautiful roasted pork shoulder. I got peas and corn just because I love them. I love vegetables. I got a little chicken stock. I got whatever your favorite can of red sauce is. Mine's mushroom. I got some fresh basil for garnish, little Italian seasonings. Make sure you salt your pasta water. Super important. It's the only thing that keeps it from sticking, that and the ratio of water to pasta. That's really the most important thing. If you put, I'm not telling you don't put oil into your pasta water, but if you do, you're kind of wasting your time. It's an old wives' tale. It doesn't really do anything to keep the pasta from sticking. The only thing that does is if you have 1 pound of pasta, you need 1 gallon of water and keep that ratio going. So if you're cooking 5 pounds of pasta, don't plan on having it not be all stuck together if you don't have 5 gallons of water. If you need to do it in batches, that's completely fine too. All right, because of that, I need a little strainer. 4-hour pasta. And you want the pasta water to taste like the ocean. So it's got to be decently salty. So I'm going to give a good amount. And you got to taste your food. If you don't taste it, how do you know what it tastes like? Good to go. Good to go. All right, so we're going to put our rigatoni in there. I'm going to set a 9-minute timer. And we're going to let that puppy roll if I can figure out my microwave. Got to be smarter than a microwave. That's a difficult task some days. Depends on the day. Alright, first thing we're going to do is dice up an onion. I got a white onion right here. Oh. Easy breezy. Don't force it. Let the knife do the work. Real important. And not cutting your fingers off. So once again, you take the top off, you peel it back. Reserve this for stock at a later date. Oh, throw that on the floor. That's always good. All right, and you're gonna want to stir the pasta too. Once it goes in, give it a good stir and let the water do the work the rest of the way. It should be hot enough that it's going to kind of bubble up and let the pasta cook on its own. Keeping it off the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. Alright, so my cast iron skillet that you see directly to my left here has been preheated on a very low heat. I'm just at a 2 right now. So we're climbing up the ladder on the diced onion, straight down, up the ladder, and then straight back down. That's the easiest way to explain it. That way you get a nice square small dice here. It can be a little chunky. Italian cuisine is a country cuisine, which is kind of why I like it. It's a little chunky like me, you know? So in the pan, and we're going to kind of want to let that sweat, which means you just want to let the onions cook a little bit on a very low heat until they become translucent. That's what sweating means. Low and slow. And if you can hear that, you probably want to turn the heat down a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little olive oil right now. While I dice the other half of this onion. And into the pan. So you want to let that cook down, say a good 2-3 minutes. Just the onions. Just the onions are all by themselves. They're not all by themselves. They got a little olive oil in there too, so they're not too lonely. They're happy. They're content. The onions have not been quarantined alone. All right, give your pasta a little stir again. Keep it from sticking. And we got about 6 minutes left on the timer. So all we're going to need to do is kind of heat the pork, hit it with a little bit of stock or red wine if you got it. I don't. This is COVID cooking classes, so use what you got. Never be afraid to wash your hands in the middle. What else? I would normally use a little bit of fresh garlic. They didn't have any at the store when I went, so I'm going to be using a little Italian blend of seasonings. This is called Kissed by the Sun, blended straight out of Amherst, New York, so it's a local. They say questions, give us a call, 716-435-6011. I have so many questions, KBS, but I guess that's a different show. I guess that's what my therapist gets paid for, huh? Woo-wee. All right. So get those onions moving, get them sweating, get them dancing around there. It's a party after all. It's a flavor party. We're throwing it. Always season as you go. So a little sprinkle of salt will do ya. And we got about 1 more minute on that. I gotta give the heat a little touch up just to get them rolling real nice there. Another little tip: you'll always know when you're in a chef's house when he hangs the cleaner right there on the oven. Give the pasta a swirl again. Look at it, 4 minutes to go. That's it. 4 minutes to dinner. You don't have to wait all day. At this point in time, you can kind of get your frozen corn in there, because this is gonna break down. It's gonna give it a little moisture. It's gonna help the onions sweat and get to where they need to be. Once again, now we're at like a 4 or a 5. The onions, if you can see them, are starting to get a little. Let's work the camera here, Pedro. Getting a little translucent. They're not as white as when we started. You can hear like a slight little bubble, slight little pop, but it's not like a saute where it's loud and aggressive. So once again, the pork shoulder, I mentioned in one of my last, I think I did it on the Instagram live, how versatile it is, and that's why I love pork, because you can do anything with it. You can take this stuff and put a little barbecue sauce on it, have pulled pork barbecue sandwiches. You can throw some Mexican seasonings on there and have tacos. You can do a ragu, like a roasted pork ragu like we're doing tonight. Let's see here. You want Indian? We can do a curry with it. You could do a marsala sauce. You want French cuisine? We could go cassoulet. My brothers from Bostonia would do some baked beans with it. Maddie flipped the cupcakes. Alright, we're ready to go here. Time for the pork. Get that in there. Now's the time to blast the heat. Throw it all the way up on high. Let it rip. Because the onions are cooked down enough and they're soft enough that the moisture from the pork is also going to add a nice little touch to this bad boy. Let that sit. All right. Sometimes there's a little idle time, never a bad time for hydration, whatever your beverage of choice might be. I had 2 flat tires on 2 different bike rides today, so I'm just drinking water to recover. So good. Alright, if you got too big of chunks there, if you got too big of chunks of pork in there, and they're not like one bite kind of pieces, you want to break it up a little bit in the pan. It's not the end of the world. You can do it later on if you need to. Into your bowl. Another helpful hint, hot food, hot plates. It's like, it's the cardinal sin of cooking in professional kitchens is to serve something that's hot on a cold dish. And the easiest way to do that at home, throw it in your microwave for 30 seconds and you'll have a hot bowl to serve whatever it is in. Hey Trout, what's going on? Smelling something good, huh? There you are. Alright. My cat likes to cook in the kitchen with me, but she's kind of shy. I guess she's not ready for a close-up. What are you going to do? Alright. So we're coming up, alright, we're coming up on 9 minutes. Right there's the bell. So you can drain our pasta. Give it a swirl before you drain it out. Make sure everything's off the bottom. Make sure nothing's sticking there. And drain her out. Into an empty sink with a colander. So after you drain off the water in that pasta, I'm gonna cut the big stock kettle in the back down to a very low, and I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the pasta to keep it from sticking while we finish up the sauce over here. A little bit of chicken broth, nothing fancy once again. That's where you'd replace that with a little bit of red wine if you wanted to. And then the whole can of whatever your favorite brand. I'm going to tell you what to do with your life. Whatever you want, which direction you want to go. Your favorite red sauce to make this easy for you. Make your life easy. You got a couple hungry kids at home. It's the way to go. Trout's here. Alright. So you see how that's come together real nice already? Little circles in the middle, that way it doesn't flop over the edge. That's where people make their mistakes as well. Little circles in the middle, and it'll all come together. Don't hesitate to give her a little shake. Shake and bake. Now's a great time to adjust the seasonings. Give her a little taste over here. Do a pinch more salt. I enjoy salt, and you don't want to go too heavy on this too, because at the end we're going to finish it off with a little Parmesan cheese, and that's got a good amount of salt to it. So, last but certainly not least, one of my favorites is a little bit of frozen peas. And you want to put those in there dead last, cut the heat, and just let the heat warm the peas through. And that way they're nice and green, vibrant. Work the camera, Pedro. Come on, work the camera. It's hard to see from so far away. But you got this nice, vibrant, vegetable roasted pork ragu that we're about to toss together. Now for me, this is going to be like 2 portions. So I'm gonna save half of this for dinner for tomorrow. So that way I just throw it in the microwave, 2-3 minutes, good to go. So into the stock pot. Mix it all together. Nice little toss. Get all that out of there, all that goodness. And then we're going to plate this up real quick. My bowl here is still warm, so we're good to go there. Got a little Parmesan cheese on the top. A little bit of that Kissed by the Sun Italian seasonings. I was lucky enough to get some fresh basil, or as close to it as they get at Wegmans these days. And let's see here, last but certainly not least, these are like a dream come true. So these are just some dried red chilies of your choice. You can pick out whatever kind of heat you want, but I like to throw a little bit right over the top because it kind of gives it an earthy tone, gives a little bit of spice, a little bit of fire in your belly. And that, my friends, is a roasted pork ragu in just about 15 minutes. Feed your whole family. Luscious on the lips. I'll see you soon.